said, well, God, let's just distribute this to everybody freely, without charge. But the only way he could do it is that he had to taste it first. He had to drink it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have experienced that. He wouldn't have felt like that. Wouldn't have felt so liberal. He wouldn't have felt so wealthy. That's the kind of characteristics of this incarnation and his devotees, because his devotees, who also drink this kind of nectar of the pastimes of the Lord, they also become liberal, magnanimous, compassionate. Okay? But they have to drink. Okay? If they stop drinking, they dry up. Then they become like Lord Chaitanya said. They look like a devotee, but they're dried up and withered because they departed from the Lord. See, departed from the spiritual potency. It got cut off somehow. They turned, so. And they're obstacles. And Lord Chaitanya came to teach what those obstacles are. And we have to just learn. If you want to drink this ras, you have to abide by those principles. Otherwise, the obstacles come. Yeah. So Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty. But love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. I was thinking about this. See, the Lord is saying the love of his devotees that just worship him in like a distant relationship doesn't satisfy him. He wants more intimacy and more closeness. But you know what that means? That means more truth. See, the closer we come to God, then could you imagine you start to feel that the Lord is living in your own heart? You know how close that is? See, so the distance is putting in the awe and reverent worship like this. But as more intimacy comes in, it's like, wow, this is really close, man. And this satisfies the Lord. See, because he's in our own hearts. And naturally, see, the Lord eats first, right? Isn't that what we practice? We feed the Lord first, then we eat. This is kind of like a training wheels, so that we learn that first the Lord eats, then we do it. This is kind of a rule, it's a regulation. But this is also a spiritual truth. The Lord is satisfied first, and then we're satisfied. See, that's Raganuga, that's spontaneous devotion. And that comes by associating with those kind of devotees who experience this. See? But they're going to be, because of tasting ras, they're going to be more jubilant and they're going to be more liberal. See, they're not going to be going around saying, you got to, follow all these things. And, if you don't, God is going to send you to hell. You must follow. You're not going to be in that mood. Lord Chaitanya wasn't. Jesus wasn't. They're going to be liberal. Liberal. They're so liberal. Huh?
They had their moments, but
Yeah.
no, for the most part, it was very jubilant.
Yeah. Yeah. The liberality, the liberality is this. It's there. There's only basically one qualification. It's just to accept them. They become so liberal that there's no bunch of rules and regulations and rules heaped on that liberality. It's just they're so liberal. It's like when Jesus, he said, "I'll go anywhere, whoever will listen to me." Now that's pretty liberal. He's not saying, "Well, I'll go to this house if they, if they followed rules and regulations and they fasted on Friday, and did, you know." Those who were fasting on Fridays and were studying the scriptures and doing all that often didn't welcome him. See, because he was too liberal, and they couldn't understand that, because they weren't. Their hearts were harder and all of this. Okay? So the liberal devotees, the Lord and his devotees who are relishing Ras, it's like, hey, whoever will listen, whoever will accept such association of those devotees, they get it very easily, regardless of how qualified they are or what. Because you know what they get? They get the proper understanding and the proper revelation. Okay? Only by drinking Ras that the Lord came to give, relishing this intimate relationship, can such liberality manifest. Okay? Otherwise, if you're not in that mercy and you're not a recipient of it, then you're going to go around a bit more like, you got to do this and you got to do that, and then we'll give you the mercy. I'm sorry, man, that wasn't Jesus, and that wasn't Lord Chaitanya. That was Moses, that was many, many teachers, even in Bhakti Yoga. And it doesn't mean they're wrong, it's just what was flowing, man. It's what the Lord allowed. Before Lord Chaitanya and Madhavendra Puri, it was like that. People were just doing rules and regulations. A second. There we go. Yeah. So, and then Madhavendra Puri came, and he was empowered with this bhakti, and then the liberality started to come through. Because that's the nature of bhakti. It's very, there's so much love and compassion. It's just, it's wants to give. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. So in whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural. That is my natural behavior. So we read in this. Anyway, I'll just keep reading here. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So it's really quite amazing that, because this statement, as Bhagavad Gita, it's so much deep truth in that. It's like, it's amazing. See, whatever. I'll read that again, then just say what just came to mind here. I got to read it though. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior. And so that goes for material mellows. Whatever material mellow that the devotee, because we're all devotees, that we worship the Lord in his material form, the Lord reciprocates. And it's a bit painful. It's like happiness and distress, and very limited. Okay? Same old, same old, same old, same old. Okay? And same with in the transcendental mellow of awe and reverence, there's some transcendence there. Okay? Then the Lord reciprocates. He gives respect to those who respect him. He gives friendship to those who consider him a dear friend. He gives servitude to those who consider themselves servants of him. Oh, you want to be my servant? No problem. Oh, you want to be my dear friend? Oh, I like that even better. That gives me more happiness. Oh, you want to be dominant over me? You want to tell me what to do? You want to maintain me and all that? Oh, I really love that, man. That's really amazing. That's real intimate. What, you want me as like your beloved lover? And you want it's like, wow, now I could never repay those devotees of the gopis, man. They're everything to me. They're my teachers sometimes. See, that all the moods of devotional service are within the mood of conjugal love. Yeah, that's what Krishna says. Oh, sometimes those gopis are my teachers and like the more dominant. They teach me. They're like my teachers and they mother me and father me. And they rear me like this. And sometimes they're my most intimate friends and confidants. And they're also my beloveds. Okay? And sometimes they're my servants, and sometimes I serve them. I don't know what they are not to me. They're everything. They're very versatile in their service. It's all service. The Lord is very happy with that. So the conjugal is considered the best. Yeah. So that's why
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking about the servitude and how the gopis seem to have the entire realm covered. But how is that accomplished unless you're looking at it through an astrological point of view? Like Cancer females are this way, and Sagittarius is this way. Some are motherly, some are sisterly. Uh, is that maybe what is a commonality?
Well, yeah. The different. It's just kind of like people here. It's kind of the same thing. They have different personalities. Gopis are, they're going to be like that. That is even explained a bit too. Oops. They have different personalities. Some are like have a little more jealousy, transcendental jealousy. There's all kinds of moods, like moods here that people have, characteristics and all of that. I don't know what's astrology. It really doesn't really apply because that's within the world. That's controlled by the demigods. So I don't, but they do have their individual characteristics explained. There's a book by Rupa Goswami about this. I forgot the name of it. Yeah. So in whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. See, isn't that interesting? It's everyone. It's just even in the world. See, we're all servants of the Lord. If we serve the Maya, serve the Lord's material potency, that's one of his forms, is in the material. It's more external. It's called the external energy. It externalizes our consciousness. We're looking out there for happiness. We're looking for wealth. The Lord makes his path, the path of fruitive activity. Oh, you want to be wealthy. Oh, you want to, wealthy, and then you have to work really hard. You have to put a lot of endeavor and thought. You have to learn a lot of mundane knowledge and stuff. And, it takes a lot of effort in that direction. See? So so whatever way we surrender to the Lord, He rewards us. So then you get a lot of wealth. You get, wow, you get this money, you work really hard and fruitive activity, and you get all this wealth. He reciprocates. Oh, here you go. You get this and this. And you get all the problems that come with when you're doing too much of that. See. But those who do bhakti, it's like you get reality, and then you get whatever you need also in the world. Maybe you won't get rich, maybe you will. Who knows? But it's not. It doesn't. It's not really the important thing. See. So if one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me of his son, his friend, his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. Yeah. So, anyway, I just wanted to read a little bit of that, but let's go into something. Now, that's kind of like a teaching stuff. Let's just go right into some verses of. Okay, where is this here? Let's go into the Lila, actually. Okay. Man! Here we go. Onto Lila. Okay. This is called the opulence and sweetness of Krishna. So this is Madhya Lila, chapter 21. First verse. Offering my obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let me describe a particle of his opulence and sweetness. He is most valuable for a fallen conditioned soul, bereft of spiritual knowledge. And he is the only shelter for those who do not know the real goal of life. You know how it's just such a very amazing way to put this. He's the only shelter for those who don't know the goal of life. And you know who that is? Everybody, practically. 98.9% of the people don't know the goal of life. So he's basically the only shelter. It's just a very poetic way of describing this. He's the only shelter of those who don't know the goal of life. You know, so many people think they know the goal of life, and it's just a thinking thing. They're after their own dreams. I want to be a movie star. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to be wealthy. I want a family. I want this. I want that. And the Lord reciprocates, right? It's His nature. Here's the family. Here's a beautiful husband for you, or an ugly husband, or whatever it is you want. See, it's your own dreams. See, you think you know the goal of life, right? Everybody is saying, yeah, I know the goal. My goal is this. I'm going to be this. I'm going to do this. I got my dream. I'm going to do all these. And a self-realized soul or awakened soul, they see that through the eyes of Scripture and some realization. They say, oh, the person's still dreaming. He's not awake yet. They're not awake. Lord, Krishna said, those who have their own goals for themselves and to do this and for them so that they can be happy and whatever it is, they're still not awake yet. They're still dreaming. Okay? So that's just how it is. And those who are awake, you know what are they doing? There's a goal there, but they're working for the welfare of others And it depends on how far, awake you are. Like if you're awake to bhakti and you're in a disciplic line, like with Lord Chaitanya, you're going to be working for the welfare of others by distributing the holy names and the awakening devotion and the pastimes, and you teach about bhakti. This is see, so that's see, but that your goal? Yeah, it becomes, it's like the Lord's desire becomes our desire. See, that's how it works. We become one with the Lord's desire. See, and it still might be some stuff mixed in, habits and sense gratification, everything, but basically the devotee is one with the Lord's desire and realizes the deeper essence of truth. So that's being awakened. So all glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all glories to Nityananda Prabhu, and all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, all the transcendental forms of the Lord are situated in the spiritual sky. They preside over spiritual planets in that abode, but there is no counting those Vaikuntha planets. Okay, I want to skip over the descriptions of this. A little too opulent for what I'm looking for here. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of these worlds. No, Master of all mystic power. Your pastimes are taking place continuously in these worlds, but who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing your pastimes? No one can understand the mystery of these activities. This is actually a very important verse. Yeah. You want to explain that one, Arjai?
Well, I'm not as expert at it as you are, but my take on that verse is that when one realizes that we are but part and parcel of the entire whole, then one begins to realize that the situations that we experience here in the material world are but a reflection of the entirety. And that helps explain how the interior and exterior potency exists. And then comprehending that, you take another step a little bit deeper and begin to understand that all of these things happen because of his potency and because of the realizations that one needs to make to comprehend that level. And then you go a little bit deeper, and it just keeps getting deeper and deeper, and oh, so much more relishable. Anyway, that's my take. Please.
Yeah, good. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's all about, see, the spiritual potency. It's just kind of like you can look at when Jesus, historically, when Jesus was here, wasn't the spiritual potency here? See, and how easy was it to discern? It was not easy. People thought, well, maybe he's a great teacher, or a prophet, or what So they didn't know he was so, what he was. He was even doing miracles, and then it was still very difficult for people to believe in him. As a matter of fact, he even predicted everybody's going to leave me. and I'll be left alone, but I'm not alone because I'm with the Father. So the spiritual potency was acting very powerfully when Jesus was here. I mean, look at the result of it from here. Right? So that's how we know. See, we can look over historical examples. Look at the spiritual potency was there. There were miracles, and there was love, deep love, and like this. Also, when Lord Chaitanya was here, it was very different. Not everybody saw. If people were too mundane and in the world, they couldn't realize the value of Jesus. I mean, of Lord Chaitanya. Even the disciples of Jesus, there's a certain point where Jesus asked, well, who do people say I am? And they say, some people say this, some people say that. They didn't really understand. And who do you say I am? And disciples still didn't, most of them didn't know. Peter said, no, you're the Messiah. Okay? You're the Son of God. See, so therefore, he realized he got, the Lord revealed that to him. And then Jesus even commented on it. You cannot understand this unless the Lord has given you mercy. The Father, no man can make you understand this. It was the same with Lord Chaitanya. Same with Haridas Thakur, even a devotee being here. Same with Prabhupada. I mean, I didn't recognize, I was going around, I didn't recognize that Prabhupada was part of the spiritual potency. I didn't even know there was a spiritual potency. I didn't have any transcendental knowledge. Even when Prabhupada was here, and many of his godbrothers had transcendental knowledge, but they couldn't recognize how it was acting through Prabhupada. See? Even after he departed, I had heard this discussion of these two devotees who were watching the godbrothers' eulogy. Not all of them, but some of these godbrothers, they still didn't recognize Prabhupada. Even after he departed, did all these things. See, because you got to get mercy. Somehow you have the mercy of the Lord has to reveal these things, otherwise you can't know them. The devotee is covered by the spiritual potency, Yoga Maya. It hides them, just like it hides the Lord. Fools deride me when I descend in my human form. See? So whether the devotee is here or the Lord is here, they're covered by that Yoga Maya, and only by revelation, by the Lord, can one really understand who they are. Otherwise, yeah. Even that, like, say with Prabhupada, many people didn't realize by personal realization his position. They just thought, well, look at him. He's preaching. He's doing all these things, and people respect him as guru and all of that. We accept like that. And then he left, and many people left also. So the revelation and realization is the mercy of God. Very not easy to detect where and when the spiritual potency is always acting, even though it's always here. I love this verse. No one can understand the mystery of these activities, see, except the devotee who's gotten the mercy. The spiritual qualities of Krishna are also unlimited. The great personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the four Kumaras cannot estimate the spiritual qualities of the Lord. In time, great scientists may be able to count all the atoms in the universe, all the stars and planets in the sky, and all the particles of snow. But who among them can count the unlimited transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He descends on the surface of the globe for the benefit of all living entities. To say nothing of Lord Brahma, even Lord Ananta, who has thousands of heads, cannot reach the end of the Lord's transcendental qualities, even though he is continuously chanting their praises. If I, Lord Brahma, and your elder brothers, the great saints and sages, cannot understand the limits of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of various energies, who else can understand them? Although constantly chanting about his transcendental activities, the thousand-head Lord Shesh has not yet reached the end of the Lord's activities. Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit. This is all the opulence. I want to get into the sweetness here. Here we go. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing the opulences and spiritual, this is verse 21, or 99. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was describing the opulences and spiritual potencies of Krishna in this way, there was an awakening of love of Krishna within him. His mind became immersed in the sweetness of conjugal love, and he quoted the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. To exhibit the strength of his own spiritual potency, Lord Krishna manifested a form just suitable for his pastime in the material world. This form was wonderful even for him, and was the supreme abode of wealth, of good fortune. Its limbs were so beautiful that they increased the beauty of the ornaments worn on the different parts of the body. Isn't that interesting? It's the quality of Krishna. See, all the ornaments are actually devotees. They're, the ornaments of Krishna are a living, no death. Everything the Lord has is alive on him. They're all devotees. See, so it's natural that the Lord will increase the beauty of his devotees. See, that's why a devotee feels, of myself, like Jesus said, of myself I can do nothing, right? See, that's the revelation of all devotees. They realize that without the empowerment of the Lord, they cannot do anything. See? So it's the Lord that makes them attractive. See? And you know what? It's the devotee that makes the Lord attractive. If Krishna was just in the scriptures, well, the devotees who write the scriptures make the Lord attractive. And a preacher preaching about Krishna makes Krishna more attractive to others. And the Lord simultaneously makes the devotee more attractive by being close to him. See how that works? See, that's the transcendental potency and how it works. See? Like Prabhupada, he was so attractive, wasn't he? He's an old man. People wanted to marry him. Why? They had some decide, I just love, I'd love to marry him. He's an old man. Why? Because he had Krishna, made him attractive. Why? Because Krishna, one of Krishna's qualities, he's attractive to women. Says that is one of his qualities. On another level, the soul has this female quality, so that's why. Another reason. Oh, battery's low, so I gotta do something here. Just 1 second. Yeah, isn't that fascinating?
Warren Will Robinson
Say that again.
Every time I hear some kind of little warning beep, it reminds me of that goofy robot on Lost in Space way a long, long time ago. And he
Yeah,
comes out and goes, "Warning, Will Robinson, warning, warning."
yeah. No, this was just. This is just. Gotta figure out how to do this here. Hmm. Figure out how to do this. I don't know how I did it before. Somehow. Um, well, I guess no
You
more
just go
Facebook.
off live.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go off on the Facebook Live here. Yes, it's gonna charge up. Okay, so yeah. So that's how it works, man. Hmm. Lord Krishna has many pastimes, of which his pastimes as a human being are the best. His form as a human being is the supreme transcendental form. In this form, he is a cowherd boy, and he carries a flute in his hand, and his youth is new. He is also an expert dancer. All this is just suitable for his pastimes as a human being. Man. My dear Sanatan, the sweet, attractive, transcendental form of Krishna is so nice. Just try to understand it. Even a fractional understanding of Krishna's beauty can merge all three worlds in an ocean of love. He attracts all living entities within the three worlds. The transcendental form of Krishna is shown to the world by Lord Krishna's internal spiritual energy, which is a transformation of pure goodness. This jewel-like form is the most confidential treasure of the devotees. This form is manifested from Krishna's eternal pastimes. The wonderful form of Krishna and his personal feature is so great that it attracts even Krishna to taste his own association. Indeed, Krishna becomes very eager to taste it. Total beauty, knowledge, wealth, strength, fame, and renunciation are the six opulences of Krishna. He is eternally situated in his opulences. See, that's why it's so important for the soul to attain the ability to taste the sweetness of Krishna. All of us. This is really the supreme goal. Because all of those good qualities will be reflected in the devotee. I mean, more and more and more. But it depends on if we can taste the sweetness of Krishna. Okay? Otherwise, if we can't do that, we'll be tasting something else, either materially, because we got to taste. The soul is like a small enjoyer. Like, see, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. We're also enjoyers. So if we're not enjoying the spiritual relish, the potency, then we're going to want to enjoy the material too much. That's why the world is mad, intoxicated with the worldly stuff. It's literally, they're drunk. They're just, whoever is just drinking that becomes intoxicated by it, the world, the worldly things, worldly stuff. Right? So that's the necessity. That's why the Lord was very merciful, teaching everybody just chant the holy name, whatever you believe in. Even you just sit down and do bhajan and chant. There are a lot of people, they don't know Krishna, they don't really believe in it, but they like to chant. New Age people. Maybe because they start to taste this bliss and rasa. And the Lord is actually revealing himself that way. Because it's not so important to know who God is, really, but to taste him. And then gradually you'll start to understand. But you got to taste the Lord. See? Just memorizing Bhagavad Gita verses and everything isn't necessary. It doesn't mean that you're really knowing the Lord that way, just by memorization and all that. You got to taste the verses. So you got to drink it. It's like a nectar in there.
An associate asked me earlier what it was like to be a transcendentalist and not associate with the material world. And I tried to explain to him that, I breathe, I eat, I live like anybody else does. It's just, I have a love of God that is a little unusual because I tasted the nectar and I'm greedy for his love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it, man. That's the path. When you start drinking this rasa, then you can see who's not drinking it. And a lot of them have positions as devotees, positions as gurus and teachers, but they don't drink it. They can't. They haven't gotten that mercy to drink it. Therefore, you understand things only by drinking it. They don't understand this path. We're actually explaining the real path here. We're just pointing it out. The real path is drinking this nectar. If you can't drink it, then you're going to be drinking something else and teaching something else. Yeah, that's the bottom line. Yeah. Still, it shows you how many few people know about it or realize it's important. So ornaments caress that body. But the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Okay? So therefore, Krishna's body is said to be the ornament of ornaments. Enhancing the wonderful beauty of Krishna is his three-curved style of standing. Above all these beautiful features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. Okay, I'm going to read something else now. I think I'm going to read the play again. All right, so we were reading Lalita Madhava, Vidagdha Madhava. Let's try Lalita Madhava. We'll start with Act 1. This is by Rupa Goswami. The beautiful moonlight glories of Mukunda give distress to the lotus faces of the wives of the demons, and to their raised breasts, which are like gleaming chakravaka birds. Those glories, however, are pleasing to his devotees, who are like chikora birds. May those glories forever give pleasure to you all. Let us offer respectful obeisances to the dark cloud of Lord Krishna, which showers the goddess of the 8 directions with the with a rain of sweetness, which externally, eternally decorates the gopis with beautiful vine leaves and flowers, which embrace its chest and pureness. I think I don't know if I think I either need to chant or that's enough tonight. But let's try chanting a little while and see what happens. Sometimes I kind of run out of gas. It feels like sometimes it's like slow it down. So I don't know. Maybe it'll speed up again. Maybe that's it for tonight. Let's see. Let's give it a shot here. Let's not just totally give up the ship. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Actually, is it getting too late for you there, Arjai? Are you still into chanting a little bit? Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Your mic was off. It's okay? All right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hey, if you put some hot water on, I'll take care of the rest. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You are? Good, good. Yeah, I'll start working on it. Just gonna chant while the water is boiling. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Probably need to lay down a little bit too, huh?
Yeah, I lay down. I've been laying down sometime now.
Okay, good. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Actually, you should, that water, like, you could just, yeah, tap water is better. Really? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah, half and half is good. Like that. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari
That
Hari.
guy's hanging in there, huh?
Yeah. He's a real chanter. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Just see that big white beard blowing in the wind there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
sound like Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
That's
Hare
who I
Krishna.
learned from.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna